What's up, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through politics so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. So, Mayor Adams has just recently said something that has a lot of people on the left in quite an uproar because he's saying things that they don't agree with. And remember, when it comes down to the hive mind on any side, because it does happen on the right as well, you have people that are upset. This tribalism that exists everywhere. A perfect example of this is I am black. I am Afro American. Whenever I say anything around other blacks, a majority of them will not like the things that I have to say because I don't think among the status quo. I don't think like them. Therefore, I must be an enemy. I must be an Uncle Tom. I must be a coon. Just because I said some shit like, you don't gotta waste your time fighting an individual just because you feel disrespected. You may never see this individual again. Nah, he gotta get his lick back. Shit like this. Again, the tribalism is bad. Now, Mayor Adams, people know me. I don't like Mayor Adams because a lot of people made me not like Mayor Adams because he started off and everything was basically based on the color of his skin. And me as a person, I'll sit there and I'll look at Mayor Adams and be like, hey, you're black, but you're doing every single thing that the Democrats have already been doing. The Democrats have been ruling New York City for such a long time that you're coming in. Let's see if it's any different with you. And he played the game that they wanted him to play until they started to basically do him dirty. Now he's kind of fighting back ish, kind of, but it's the damage is already done. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that.
Nah, there ain't gonna be no. You gonna sit down and you're gonna hear about it, but you ain't gonna be able to stop it. So you better get with it. And if you don't know, you better act like you know. They getting them people up on out of here. You know what? You gotta steal your heart, bleeding liberal. If you're sad because Pablo, if you're sad because if you're sad because all of these fucking people done came over here and they're doing all of this bullshit, tough. You should have thought about that when you were pushing for, you was accepting and you were okay with the policies of them replacing you. We knew that there were illegals in New York City. We knew that there was illegals in Texas. We knew that there was illegals in California. We knew that there was illegals coming into the United States, being bussed in overnight and being put into our neighborhoods, being put into our communities, being put into our backyards. But we knew that there were illegals before this. The problem was they broke the dam. And they made it so fucking obvious. What can you do? The population, again, of, if I remember correctly, in New York City, I think it was 2019 or 2000, it was 2019, 2020. It was in 2 years. I remember the homeless population of New York City was 87,000. I'm estimating a number, but just follow me. It was like 87,000. The amount of illegals that came into New York City, these migrants, was like 100,008. It was 100,008. 108,000 illegals that came into New York City in 2 years. That completely overwritten the DNA of the homeless shelter population in New York City. And before anyone sits there and goes, where are you pulling out these fucking numbers? I had the displeasure of having to go through the New York City shelter system at one point. And I witnessed the shit firsthand. This is the reason why I don't just speak this shit because it's fun, because it's cute, because I'm regurgitating shit from other people. I'm telling you, when you have to be in a fucking room and there's 25 people in a fucking room and none of them speak English, and you got two flavors at this shit menu. You got your African immigrants and you got your Spanish immigrants. Pick one. Either one is still bad for the fucking country, and none of them speak English, and they're all getting provincial treatment to people who actually work, to people who are New York City residents at the time, or they've been in New York, or people who belong in New York State or whatever. This shit is fucking crazy. When they have no identification and they're coming over here and they're doing the shit that they're doing with their hands open, but they don't respect you, but they want to replace you, the shit is crazy and it's time to stop. So again, Mayor Adams realizes he ain't got a fucking choice. Homeboy who was coming to do the deportation and all of that shit, my man over there who literally just sat there and said, if the family's sad because they're getting deported, we could deport the whole family. You better get with it. And all of those people, all of the mayors that are sitting there collectively going, oh, we're gonna do everything to stop them. Your ass can go and get arrested too. Keep fucking around. There's a new administration in town. Tough. You put it on yourselves.
Open
to hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with ICE.
You know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama.
Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton literally said, if you commit a crime, you get deported. Barack Obama, I know you white liberal ladies, you white left leaning fucking ladies out there. In fact, I just had to get one out of my fucking life because this fucking spaz, throughout the time that me and her was talking, I was being as understanding, and even with her flaw, like literally, even with her red flags and flaws, I just accepted it. But whenever I said something, she would just blow up and lash, and it was just like it wasn't fucking worth it. And then she said some shit that made me stop talking. She loves Obama. She loves Obama. I don't know what it is with white women. It's something about fucking Obama. I guess because he looks like us, but he speak good. They love Obama. It's something about that that smooth operator who he ain't doing nothing good for you, but he makes you feel good. Something about that resonates with women, just like how JD Vance is a smoother Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump is still really, really good, but he's old and he's stuck in his ways. He wants to do the right thing for the most part, but he can't be as smooth as JD Vance. JD Vance is young. JD Vance he can still adapt much quicker than Donald Trump. And when they was listening to JD Vance, a lot of girls was over there on the left going, mm, my natural biology is betraying me right now. So maybe that's what it is. I mean, then again, I think Time Magazine said that Fauci was the sexiest man on the planet or some shit at one point. Whatever, bro. But again, when it comes down to Obama, Obama literally deported the most immigrants out of the United States of America in history. He did the most deportations, and no one says a word about that. Stop it.
Google what they said about those who commit crimes in our city and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away. That was their position. So this is not a new position, because in the state in the era of cancel culture, no one is afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me because I'm going to protect the people of the city. And if you come into this country, in this city, and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants and asylum seekers, this is not the mayor you want.
Nah, see, you should have been doing that shit from the jump, bro. See, the thing is, and this is crazy. In 2024, New York almost flipped red. It was the closest in history of New York flipping red. Ever since New York went blue, it was the closest New York had ever gotten to flipping red. And New York is the Big Apple, and because it's the Big Apple, and because it is such a tourist spot, it is such a big hub. All of the left leaning types, all the artistes, all of all of these people on the left who are inspired in all of this, they go there and they ruin it because it is just like a fucking blackboard. California and New York are blackboards for all of their bullshit. He just knows when Trump gets in office, he won't get federal funding if he doesn't stop this. Agreed, but credit where credit is due. While the radical Dems fight tooth and nail to keep these violent and dangerous criminals in our nation and on our streets, Adam is finally doing what he's supposed to do to keep New Yorkers safe. It's too late to start keeping New Yorkers safe. You should have been doing that from the jump, buddy. Are you kidding? He welcomed this in the beginning. Don't care. He should have been doing that from the very beginning of his tenure. But the thing is, truthfully, let's be real here. It's not 100% his fault. This is just like the thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wanted to do a lot of things, some bad, some very good, and he was fought tooth and nail by the people that be. Eric Adams can try to do a lot of good things. For example, there's a lot of good things that when people try to do good things, but you got to understand, when you decree for something good to happen, you got to be and sitting there, especially in places like New York City. You got to sit there and make sure that all of the money's going to the right hands and it just doesn't fucking de Blasio mistress and fucking disappear like it did before. You know, there's a lot of corruption in a lot of these cities. Of course, there is corruption in the cities, but a lot of times you try to do something good, the people who are supposedly in your party, the second you speak out of lockstep with them, are going to sabotage you. So even if he wanted to do good, let's be real here, he wouldn't have been able to do a lot of good. But that's not what I judged him for. I didn't like Mayor Adams because he came off as a fucking racist from the jump, right? I was a police officer, but them cracker police officers, it's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Those are supposed to be your brothers in blue. If you got a problem with one of them speaking racist and they're white, then you correct them on it or you keep it pushing because you can't change every fucking body. That's just something you live with. That's just something you know. I can't tell other black people who I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm about to get on. I'm about to get on another 10. I'm not doing that. Okay. Are you kidding? He welcomed us in the beginning. Okay. Whoa, whoa, please, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, please stop. He has done nothing. Talk is cheap. He invited them in. It's all his fault. It's not all his fault because he's not the one who pushed those things. Eric Adams, Adams destroyed NYC in less than 3 years. His embrace of illegal immigrants was no, New York was already messed up. His embrace of illegal immigrants was a mistake. In interpreting a court ruling, Adams changed the character for NYC for the worse. Now Adams wants to act like he's some brave hero in his 180 change going against so-called progressives. The thing is, that's not the first time that Eric Adams has went against the grain. But talk is cheap. First of all, I have whiplash from this latest statement. If the Constitution is for Americans and not people who snuck into the country, doesn't that same premise apply to rights to shelter? If so, why spend $6.2 billion on folks who have no constitutional right to be here? Absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't sitting here saying let them die, but I think I find it absolutely crazy that you had people in the New York shelter system that couldn't even get EBT or WIC or whatever that it's called at this point, but you had illegals getting loaded up cars. He approved a thing to get them loaded up with cash. And the funniest thing is, okay, before I was born, apparently they used to give out stamps to people who was on food stamps. It was literally stamps. Then it changed to cash or whatever like that, but they realized that they couldn't give out cash to individuals because those individuals was using the cash to do drugs, right? So then they changed it to you can only get cold food through WIC or EBT or whatever like this, right? And they give you a little bit of cash or whatever like this. They were giving these people not only food stamps but actual cash. You know, again, I'm not trying to get on a tangent here or whatever like this, a tangent or whatever. But the fact of the matter that I literally watched a bunch of fucking illegals in the shelter system all go to Best Buy and buy brand new fucking Galaxy phones, didn't even know how to pronounce Galaxy in English, is insane. Is actually insane. When they were all driving around, remember the big electronic around New York, Pennsylvania, shit like this, they all had e-bikes? Ain't got a job, but they ain't got a job on the books, but they all got an electronic bike. How are they paying for this? Or how are they renting it? Anyway, whatever, man. Whatever. He's just speaking from both sides. He's just speaking from both sides, but butt cheeks of his butt cheeks. He does whatever is politically convenient. When he spoke against the Dems, they went for him for corruption. Now he's hoping Trump will spare him. Trump might. I don't think Trump. I think Trump shouldn't, unless Adam orders the NYPD to arrest De Blasio and AOC. Wow, how? Wow, Democrat elected official intends to enforce a law. Deport 100 of them. They broke our laws. Again, we knew illegals were here before. We didn't even do anything because it wasn't that big of a fucking deal. But the thing is, you too much of something becomes a bad thing, right? Too much. Even the illegals don't like the illegals that's been coming over here in the last 6 years. Are you kidding me? Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.